Hello and welcome to another mod tutorial, this time for Dynamic Liquid Tanks 2 by Wings of Life. In this version of the mod author has decided to remove the potion features and put them into a completely new mod. That mod's called Dynamic Potion Systems. So with all that out of the way, I'd like to remind you that the link to the mod will be in the description, and let's get on. So to get started, what you're going to need will be a tank controller and a tank. These are the basic items that you'll need. The basic premise of this mod is you can build a tank any shape or size that you wish. The tank block itself has to be connected to a tank controller for it to work, and then you can right click anywhere on the tank and it will bring up this GUI. So what I'm going to do now is build a simple tank. Now the tank block doesn't have to be on the back, you can actually incorporate the controller within the tank. And let's fill this up with some lava. I'm going to do a little cut here and I'll get back when it's filled up. So that's enough liquid, I think. I just wanted to demonstrate here the mod interactability with other mods. So in this case, Buildcraft liquid pipes. So I'll just show you here. So you can, when you pump liquids out of the tank, it has to be connected to the controller, and conversely has to be connected for the input as well, and the tank will fill up. It also interacts with thermal expansion pipes, but in this case the pipes can connect to the tank itself for the output and for the input. So we're draining liquid there and gaining liquid there. We also have interactability from Ender.io, and it also will draw from the tank block and insert in the tank block, like so. So as you can see here, my setup's changed quite a bit. That's because of a feature that this mod offers but is currently bugged. I'll show you the feature now. Is if we grab a pick. Now with these tank controllers, the wiki says you can break them, which you can, and the information of the tank is stored in the block. There it is. So we can see there it's stored lava, 139,000 millibuckets. Now the idea is that you can place this down in the world onto another tank and it will retain its ID. Now when I'd done that earlier, it crashed my world and corrupted it, so consequently the world got deleted. So it is a feature when it's working, but for now just be mindful that your worlds will get corrupted. Okay, so let's move on to some shapes. So here we have an eye, I guess, and there's no limit to the shape or size that you can build with these tanks. Here is in fact a tank that you can place your textures on, and in order to do that, you get the texture that you wish to paste onto the tank block itself, one of these, and you just shift and left click. Now the bottom layer always appears darker for some reason. I'm sure that's a bug as well, and it will get fixed. and to remove a texture, have an empty hand and shift left click again. So it's pretty cool that you can hide your tanks. The final thing I want to show you is that these tanks can store multiple liquids. So here we have some water, some lava and some ender. In order to have these tanks store multiple liquids, you need to craft yourself an upgrade module and place it next to the tank controller. It has to be next to this controller for it to work. So once that's been constructed, you need to get yourself a storage upgrade and simply right click on the rectangle here, and if you right click again on that rectangle, it will pull out the upgrade. Now with this GUI here, you can type set index with a capital I, and if we set it to 0, which corresponds to this first tank, so this tank will be 0, this one would be 1, this one would be 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then we execute that command and the tank changed to water. You can also do this with a redstone signal. So when the signal is on, it will cycle the index. And when we switch it again, and again, now it's gone to empty because that's the next slot, and it will go empty again, and then back to water. So one last thing I should probably mention is that when you upgrade this mod, make sure to remove any basic upgrades from your old tanks, and also to delete the config file and let the mod generate a new config file, which means you'll have to remember the old block IDs and enter them into the new config. And also there's options there to enable or disable the upgrades themselves. So that's most of the features covered for dynamic liquid tanks. Links in the description below for the mod and the wiki page. I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.